everybody, this is Shake and Bake, and it's time for a gaming spotlight, baby. It's been a long time, but I got a tip today from a Siggy brand, and another person on Facebook said, Shake, have you heard of this Battalion 1944? And I said, I have no clue. They know I love World War II shooters, so I went and checked it out. Basically, just was announced today. The trailer came out. They've just started their Kickstarter. I thought I'd do a spotlight. I've looked at most of the stuff. I'll show you a little bit. I'll put the links to stuff, but I will let you. This is pre-alpha, going to show you here a little bit, but I won't show you everything, but I'm going to share my thoughts about what to me looks promising and some things I'd love to see. Here we go.
Battalion 1944 is a World War II multiplayer first-person shooter coming to PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Battalion recaptures the core of classic multiplayer shooters, utilizing the most advanced industry technology to propel World War II into the next generation of video games. Battalion gives gamers a visceral and heart-thumping experience, crafted by designers who've grown up playing games like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty 2.
It just seems like the right...
All right, I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to show you the whole trailer. I just want you to see it. You guys can watch it on your own. And I am going to leave that right there because I want to show you something on that because I have some feedback about this. These guys are Bulkhead Interactive. Two companies merged, Deco Digital and Bevel Studios. They're based out of the UK. These guys appear to be a mixture of AAA veterans, some modders as well, and sounds like maybe some professional Xbox gamers as well, maybe consulting around on the team too. Not sure about that. But these guys have made one game, which was the first UE4 game on the next-gen platform. So that's pretty cool. So these guys are familiar with Unreal Engine 4. That's very promising. So visual-wise, the game should look really good. Let's jump into kind of what kind of game this is going to be. And then I'll talk to you about what I'm really digging about this. But basically, this is going to be raw skill, is what they're saying. Infantry-based. So you're not going to have... I'm going to play this, actually, guys, while I'm talking, just so you can see this in the background. But basically, raw skill. Everybody's got the same weapons, same from that time period, that war. And you're not going to be able to modify weapons. So when I heard that, I was like, thank God. Okay, we got enough of these shooters out here where you can modify weapons with all kinds of crazy stuff on it, crazy bullets, whatever, and it gives people unfair advantages. This is back to the basics, and again, like these guys said, being inspired by games like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty 2. Same weapons. It's going to come down to skill, how good you are as an individual and as a platoon member, squad member in the matches. I love that, love that, love that. What they will allow you to do is customize, though, the appearance of your weapon, like your buttstock, cosmetic stuff. You want to etch your name in, like, Sergeant Rock, put it in the buttstock. And also, like uniforms, it sounds like custom patches. There will be a system for creating platoons. I don't even want to use the word clan, but basically a unit, where then you can customize a patch on your unit. I'm sure there'll be some designator on your name, some kind of tag you can put on there, which would be cool. But also you can customize then the look of your weapon, etch some stuff in it, some personalization without impacting the weapon's performance, so people aren't going to be overpowered on the battlefield. Love that. I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. Very, very cool. The other thing they're going to have is battle rank competitions. I think this will be cool as long as it's integrated in-game. Where basically there'll be rankings. You can participate in these with your buddies, your platoon. There'll be quick, firely, hourly objectives, they're calling it, where you earn rewards and extra XP. It says here, challenges are broadcast via the main menu's challenge alert panel, as well as through our social media. So that's cool. I think that'll be a lot of fun, too. You got a couple friends, because the game is going to be small scale, close quarters combat. So you're talking, 4v4, 5v5, 6v6. You can go bigger. It's going to be set by the server. So if you're running a server for this game, you could do dedicated servers. If you want to do 16v16, you can. But again, small scale maps, so we'll see how that plays out. They will have LAN support as well, which takes us back to the old days, a little old school LAN party fun. Okay, so let's now talk about what I think. Now, they say in the video that they're doing their research, right? They're in Europe, so they can visit these places, right? So they're doing their research, visiting the places, taking images, looking at weapons, all those things. I didn't read anything about them having a historical advisor on the team, so that'd be interesting to hear more about that. But let's talk about what I think this game needs to be successful. And I'm going to start off with the HUD. When I saw the HUD, I about cried. And I hope this will be changed. And let me find out right there. This is a great example right here. He's shooting at these guys here. First off, I'll say this compass in the top left. I know it goes back to the days of Medal of Honor and stuff. I get that, right? And all these icons. But I think for this to be epic, to have that gritty World War II kind of almost hardcore experience, and I think you can get away with this on a smaller scale map with less people, especially when you can identify other soldiers by their uniforms, is clean up this HUD. I would suggest either they do it or give the server the option to take off this compass. The kill indicators ruins it for me. Bottom right, I don't need to see what weapon I'm holding. I can see it in my hands. Clean it totally up and make it more hardcore, or at least give the servers the option to make it more hardcore. I want to identify the enemy by their uniform. Even when I shoot at them, this hit marker you see in the middle here, get rid of that hit marker. That to me, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to go for an old school look with that, or just, to me, it contradicts the statement that we're creating this kind of gritty, hardcore, almost, immersive World War II experience, and then you add all that stuff on the screen, it takes away from it. So that would be my only suggestion. I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. Or, again, make it at least an option to turn all that stuff off. And you can see that there's some more of those hit markers just coming up, and maybe that's just because this is pre-alpha footage. Maybe that's not even going to be there, but you can see again up to the top level of names, basically kill confirmation. To me, tension's created in these kind of games, especially a game like this, by not knowing, did I kill the guy? Is he still laying there? That replicates more battle, in a setting like this than getting some note that shows up that tells you got the guy. So again, hopefully we'll see that change. Now, I'm going to show you something else real quick that is very interesting in the images. Was pointed out by someone in a comment, and it's down. Where's it at? This was very interesting. Most of the games nowadays, you see this right here. You see the flag, the swastika. You normally know that gets sanitized out of games. So it looks like these guys are going to really replicate that era to include all the propaganda, maybe the flags. It'll be interesting to see how that goes over. But I'm okay with it. I think showing it like it really how it was. I think the people that are into the history of it, I think will be fine with that. But we'll see how that kind of goes. It's very interesting. There's some images. I'll put all the links to stuff. You guys can check this out. Visually, again, it should look great. I still think for it to be really, really, really good, it's got to have a gritty feel. I think I'd love to see some weather effects going on. Rainy, mud, dirty. I think the sounds, and they say they're going to do this, but the sounds of the weapons in a game like this have got to be epic. I mean, it's got to just sound good. I think there has to be great suppression effects in a game like this, great explosions, and the atmosphere, since they're going small, should have a lot of detail in there. A lot of attention to detail in the buildings that you can enter them. There's papers on the floor, propaganda, stuff flipped over, just a real gritty, worn, torn feel. I think they could do that. It would be really, really epic. And the other thing they're talking about that they're doing, let me get to this part here. I'll show you this, which I think will help with the visuals, is this character right here. Let me just play this part for you guys real quick.
What we want. When we animate our soldiers using mocap, it makes Battalion's animations more genuine, authentic, and just way more real. Not many World War II games have used this technology before.
So that's promising as well right there. I think that's cool. All right, let's jump. Enough of that. You guys can watch all this stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that and what I was sharing about what I think would even take it to the next level or what my hopes are. Here's the backer page. It looks like they're doing pretty well. They just kicked it off. When I first got on, it was 4,000. Ready at 8,000. 29 days to go. 234 backers ready. They're trying to get to 100,000 euros, what looks like about $142,000. They're saying if they get to it, that they will also match that then with their own 100,000. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to get into a pre-alpha, it's going to cost you about $71 into the closed alpha access, about €50. If you want to get into the closed beta, which would come after the closed alpha, it's going to cost you about $50 or €35. Everything below that's going to get you a Steam key and some other little perks as well. I'll put the link to that. They do have a website. You can check that out too. So they're getting this all going. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this one. I've not decided if I'm going to back it yet. Because my only concern was that HUD. I want this to be a hardcore experience. Especially if it's like 4v4, 5v5. I just want it to be immersive. I want to feel like I am in this World War II battle, middle of the city or the woods, and I'm screaming to my buddies next to me. We're flanking them. They're on the other side of the wall. There's hand-to-hand combat, whatever. I think that would be epic. I'd love to hear more about that. Okay, guys, share your thoughts below. Spread the word. Awesome to see another World War II shooter coming out. Still watching Traction Wars. Still seeing how that's going. Hopefully we'll see something soon. But cheers, guys. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the likes. And I'll see you guys in the gaming world.